How's it going, Gothamites? Welcome back to another video of brand newness on Gotham Season 5. So today we've got a little bit of information to go over. I don't think it's going to be a super long video, but nevertheless, it's still some interesting stuff. And so we're going to take a look at it, and then I guess we can speculate and everything like we normally do in every Gotham update video, because there's not much to do until it comes out next year. But before I go ahead and talk about these things, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and why not like this video if you do go on to enjoy it, as I'd really appreciate it, because it just helps the video get out there a little bit more. But also, if you missed my last Gotham video, it should be up in the cards above. Be sure to check that one out and then come back to this one. But other than that, guys, let's get straight into this video. So as some of you know, Danny Cannon sometimes gives us some clues as to what things will be like in the upcoming Gotham season each year with some photos, and we've referenced quite a few before. But what we have here is a good look at Edward Nygma, but more interestingly, a homeless Edward Nygma. And the thing is, this isn't the first time we've seen Nygma looking like this. This is like a first official look, but I did cover a video, I don't know, it was quite a while back now, I guess it was maybe a month or two ago, of our first on-set footage of Nygma, recorded by like a person standing by in the streets. I'll try and link that up in the cards above if I remember. But other than that, here we have him lying on the sofa, and as I said in that video, he looks, they're definitely taking inspiration from the Batman 0 Year comic book look for Nygma here. I mean, that's like Boba, that's fairly obvious, right? Because they're doing a 0 Year-esque storyline for a little portion of this season, right? Which is true. Yeah, this is Batman 0 Year, and the Riddler in that storyline was pretty huge. But in the 0 Year comic, Edward had kind of like long mullety-esque hair. I'm sure I'm going to throw up a couple of photos on screen right now. In Gotham, it does look a little bit different, and it does seem like he's just wearing his waistcoat. One thing that the Riddler in the comics obviously definitely does wear, it's definitely a bit more stylized in the 0 Year comic, but here it just seems that he's gonna be very scruffy with whatever Hugo Strange did to bring him and Lee back to life. But one of the most interesting things that I didn't actually consider before, believe it or not, is that, well, I technically did consider the fact that we would be getting a time jump this season, right? I didn't know that for a fact, but I definitely would count on that happening. Whether it be once or twice, definitely once, I would say. As for twice, whether we get that mid-season or at the very, very end, and that's just like a future gap into, or sorry, a future view for us audience members into what these characters like Bruce and Sean Pertwee's Alfred will be like a few years into Batman's career, that would be cool. But as for this first time jump, it could be right at the beginning of the show. And as I've seen people point out, why not? I mean, there is normally like a time jump anyway between seasons. So that might just be it, because it normally is, just like with any show, even if you're looking at the CW shows like Arrow, The Flash, it's normally like a 6, 7, whatever month gap. And everyone's just like, oh, so Selina isn't paralyzed, for example. Well, they're definitely not going with that arc anymore, since they are only getting around 10 episodes, if it isn't actually 10 episodes. So they can't waste time with Selina's storyline and have her sat down in a wheelchair for like the majority of the season, which I originally think they were planning to do. So they're going to have to skip things forward. So that's why Nygma's hair is very long here. Otherwise, unless you're thinking that Hugo Strange has given him some kind of hair freaking accelerant growth thing, Bobby thing. The same thing with Selina, if you're wondering whether it is just a 6-month time jump, which is kind of like normal and she's healed in that time, or they're kind of going like a year in the future, which would give even more time, obviously, and more, I guess, just ease to explain things like this. That would be cool too, but I think it might be the regular time jump between seasons. This would make sense anyway, with Jim already starting work to shut down certain parts of, you know, the gangs of Gotham City. Bruce would have gone a little bit further. Nygma's hair would have gone a little bit longer, and he would have been a bit crazy. And I've heard that he's gonna be naked and tattooed in riddles or something like that. And then obviously we have Selina walking around. So yeah, whether we get another time jump mid-season, I have no idea, but we're gonna have to wait and see. But as for Riddler here, there's not really too much more else to say apart from the fact that, you know, I think he's gonna have to try and find his marbles again. Not necessarily like his intelligence last season, but in the terms of that, I think he's gonna be possibly unpredictable, which would be a really cool thing to see, like a crazy Riddler, essentially, with whatever Hugo Strange did to his brain. So for the next bit of info on Gotham, it's a very interesting one. We get a little sneak peek into what is coming in Gotham Season 5. Some of it obvious, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that, but now I'm really excited to see it, kind of thing. So this guy by the name of John W. Collins on Instagram works on Gotham at a minute. I believe he just works in design, like set design. So they'll get him, like, for example, if they're building a new freaking room or like some stairs for like Penguin's freaking Penguina Palace or whatever you want to call it, he might be designing all of that stuff. So right here, guys, what a few of you have spotted, the eagle-eyed Gotham viewers, is that he uploaded a picture and he is working on quite a few different Gotham pieces. So one of them is when your old cave is too small for your new cave. So this is something I've been saying for a long time, guys. We need the Batcave back. I just do not understand why we haven't had it back in the past 2 seasons. I definitely think we should have. I'll get into that in a second. Now, as for the design of this, I'm not entirely sure. Above it, that could just be the entrance. Obviously, you've got like a human male there, just signifying how high he will be in comparison to, I'm guessing, that cave-like archway, the entrance. So as for the bottom half of that, I don't know if that is just a tunnel. So for example, the upper bit is the little narrow corridor entrance of the cave, and then this bottom bit is like, I don't know, the turning point around in the cave. I don't know, making it a bit longer. You could argue this could be for a vehicle. You could just argue that this is just the entrance and a walkway into the bigger Batcave. And anyway, I could be completely wrong with reading this, as I'm not amazingly knowledgeable about the graphic design side of production, especially like schematic-y kind of stuff like this, which, yeah, as I said, not so great at reading it. But either way, it kind of reminds us of something very exciting that could be coming in Gotham Season 5, and that is more of like an excavation or, like, you know, a development on the existing Batcave. Now, long story short, I've said that we should get the Batcave back for the past couple of seasons. When Bruce was going out as a vigilante in Season 4, why wasn't him and Alfred operating from his father's proto Batcave, if you will? In that room we had like blood bags where Alfred and him could have put his blood in there for in case he lost a lot of blood and he needed a freaking, you know, blood transfusion or whatever. Why didn't they have that mannequin and put Bruce's proto bat armor on that Lucius Fox gave him? I don't get it. I mean, on the real life side of things, maybe they didn't have that set built anymore. Otherwise, I'm sure, like, in terms of writing and story, it would have made perfect sense for Bruce to use that. I just don't get why they didn't use it. It's just, hey, let's use the Batcave. Like, why not? Why not use that? But guys, it seems that we will actually be getting that, or at least there's a clue here that we will be getting that. But let's move on to the next couple of teases from John W. Collins. John uploaded another picture here saying, finally learning how to do 3D Vectorworks, and then they cut the set. And essentially what we see here is it says tunnel steps. These tunnel steps could be for anything. This tunnel, I don't know. It could be literally for anything as I'm looking at it right now. I was looking at it earlier, but I couldn't figure out. Well, I just had a revelation. I was doing some detecting work literally as I was filming. I was like, wait, these tunnel steps look like something familiar. How about the photo we literally just looked at before of the Batcave? Or like the one where John says that when your old cave is too small for your new cave, that we were going over just a few minutes ago about how I was saying it looks like the archway and the entrance. Then move on to the photo that I just got onto, literally live as I'm filming this. I'm realizing that this set plan, this preliminary set plan that is detailed here, mainly the tunnel steps, looks like to be our first look at the expanded Batcave. It looks like he is literally making more set plans for the existing Batcave, but as you see in the photo here, it looks like the wall gets a bit knocked down further, and then you see the tunnel steps. And for all I know, that bit there could be something like an elevator going down, which would be very traditional. But I have no way to confirm that. But I'm just talking about this bit you're probably seeing on the screen right now. At the bottom of those steps could be like an elevator going even further down. This is actually pretty cool that I realized this in the video. Now, as for the last teasers, guys, for Season 5, it's actually on the same photo, but John has multiple tabs open here, and it's not a massive bunch to say here. I don't know if he's like was meant to, like, I don't know if he knew that we would find stuff out like this, or if he's going to get in trouble or whatever, or if he just didn't realize if it would get seen. Sorry, John, but we are eagle-eyed. But on the tabs, it says, for example, the Tunnel Steps one that we just went over is 505, so episode 5 of season 5 will most likely see this. Above all of this as well, you see episode 501, Penguin's office ground plan. So this isn't like mega spoilery stuff or even massive stuff to get mega excited over. It's just like, okay, he's working on a preliminary design for Penguin's office. Cool. But another one, interesting one of note is Nigma electrocution concept. I'm guessing that's going to say. So is Nigma, as the Riddler, now starting to develop more like booby-trappy stuff to his riddles, like electrocution kind of stuff? Like, I don't know, it's just very Riddlery. That's the only thing I can think of there, Nigma electrocution concept, I'm guessing that's saying. So I'd love to know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Let me know what you think Nigma's electrocution concept, it gets cut off there, could be. And apart from that, we see 505, Penguin's tree, and it gets cut off again. But anyway, guys, that is absolutely everything. There is nothing much more to say here. Very exciting stuff. Pretty cool how I just had a revelation there in the video. It was kind of obvious anyway, but thank God I realized it then in the video rather than afterwards. But let me know what you thought of everything I discussed in today's video. I do read all the comments. A couple of you guys have been like, huh, he says I love to see your opinions in the comments down below, yet I never see him reply to people. It's like, I read all of my comments. I just don't reply to every single one of them. But I love, when I say I love hearing your opinions, guys, I literally do, because I read all of your opinions. So that is to all the salty people who, get salty, I guess. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, and if you're brand new here and you want to stay up to date with more Gotham information just like this, because there's going to be plenty to come, be sure to subscribe to the channel. As always, expand the links in the description. There you can find my social media, links to my merch shop for the US and EU. You can order internationally as well. A couple of you guys have already got yourself the merch, and I really love the fact that you're sending photos in, so thank you so much. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.